Hello. Let's try to reproduce this kind of animation. We are not going to reproduce exactly this one because I've already done it and I'm not going to do it again, but let's explain you the basic principles. So, how to dissolve 3D object with Tooll3. Let's start. We will do it with a cube. So let's create a cube, hit tab, type cube, enter, cube mesh. We will need points on mesh, points on mesh, and let's see what's happening. For this we will use draw billboard, and here you have the point on mesh. I don't want to be rotated billboard, so let's select billboard only. And we will need the mesh as well, so draw mesh. Maybe I can activate the interaction overlay. Let's see what is happening when I add an execute in order to see both. And now you can see that the points and the mesh are like mixed together. So to avoid that, I'm gonna add a transform mesh. Here, and I will reduce the size a little, so in order so the points are not visible anymore. So I can't see them anymore. This is perfect. So if we want to dissolve or resolve, undissolve maybe, let's add some noise. Add noise, like a lot of noise maybe. Wow, we can increase the frequency, we can do a lot of things. Put some variations. Let's do like this. And we will need to have the starting point and where the points are arriving, and this is what we need, the destination of our points. So let's use a blend points, here. So we will go from A to B. Oh shit, I'm stupid. This is the one we need, because these are points and this is mesh. Here. And now you can see if we use the blend value, we already have something interesting. So we can also translate the points in another location. Transform points. Let's put them on the right, a little up. If I hit F, I will focus my camera so we can see better. Like this. Looks fine. So there's an awesome operator called sample points attributes. We're going to put the point on mesh here and plug it here. And this one needs a texture. So let's add a texture. Let's try a linear gradient. It's always better to work with square textures, in my opinion. And this is not only my opinion, it's better. So let's put the resolution so it's a square. And let's go to our final destination. And if I go here, I have multiple options. But let's use the brightness, since my texture is black and white. And we are gonna use it for W. And I see nothing happening, so maybe we need to move this value. So let's move it to -1, and you can see here what is white. I think we can see this as well. If we activate the toggle gizmo, we can see this preview. And this shows us the texture. So right now we are lucky the box is 1 unit size. The texture that effect is also the 1 scale size. But you can change it here. For example, if you make the cube mesh taller, let's scale it on the y-axis. You can see that now the preview texture is not matching to the object. So here you can go there and stretch it until it matches. It matches, yeah. Oh, let's stay like this, because if you create your own logo, if you're using your own mesh, like with load obj, you're gonna have to project this texture on the mesh this way. This is what I've done with the T3 logo, Tooll3 logo. So let's continue. As you can see right now, the points are getting smaller where it's white, and they are getting bigger when it's black. So it's because of the use W for scale. Let's deactivate it. And here you can see that the blend point have many blend modes. So you can use blend, use W1, W2, and since our destination and we are using sample points here, we are going to use W2 as weight. And now we are beginning to see the magic happening. So right, if you can see here, if I move on the x-axis the texture, now the effect is pretty done. And it only took less than 10 minutes. Yeah. Of course you can get crazy, you can change the angle. You can use offset instead. can play with this for hours. I told you, W is your friend. W is this magic value that you can use everywhere in Tool. And you can also use red and green. Maybe we can do some crazy stuff with all this. Let's continue. So now we have, let's put the box around it. And when we play, oh, I didn't think about something. Because we need an object that has a front projection for the texture. And I think it won't work as expected in this case. But let's find out. So we need a set material. You just have to click on the operator, hit tab, type the operator you need. And let's use our it's not this is a bit annoying. I think we are going to need to go to Blender. Yeah, whatever. So what if we put a transparent value here? The effect is still working, and when I'm moving okay, since we need to fix this mapping issue from the default cube mesh, we will need the default cube from Blender. So let's jump into Blender. It's free as well. So here in Blender, we have a cube, which is 2 meters wide, if I remember well. So let's scale it down by 0.5. So now we have a 1 meter size cube. We can check it. Can we? Edge length? Yeah, it's 1 meter size. We need to do some prepare UV mapping from front view, because right here it's a beautiful cross UV mapping. So let's hit .1 and let's do a UV mapping project from view. We can also do project from view bound, since it's a square, it's a cube. So we are filling the whole object with our UV mapping. Let's go back to layout. Let's try shading. Let's add a texture, new, color grid. Okay. And you can see here, oh, the cube is mapped. Okay. We also need to triangulate. Where is triangulate? Face, triangulate faces. Alright, so now we need to export it. Export as wavefront OBJ. Let's go to my resource folder, user, new MK, OBJ, cube, front map, selected only. We don't need the material. We have the UV coordinates, the normals, and it should be fine. Export. Let's go back to Tool. Let's load an OBJ file. We should find it here. Resources, user, my username, cube front map, and let's see what is happening if I put it here. Oh no! So the original cube was 2 meter size. Oh, maybe I should transform it a bit. Transform mesh. Scale it to 2. Let's compare it. Yeah. But now I can see we have a small issue. You can see that those faces are black. And this is a little problematic. Well, if I put a gradient, let's try another gradient to check, to double check. Change, right click. Let's put some beautiful colors. I want a square texture. And for no good reason, those faces are black. So we are dead. No, I'm kidding. So let's go back to Blender, UV editing. Let's move a bit away. Let's switch to orthographic view, maybe. And we can front view. Oh shit. Front view, orthographic view. No, front view. Let's move it a little. Switch to orthographic view. Okay, let's do like this. So I added a little. It's not perfectly centered. Let's select all the faces. Let's do project from view, and we are not using bounds this time. Okay, UV, transform. Constraint to image bounds. Select everything, hit S, scale up. And now you can see that it's not perfectly aligned, so we can see the side. This is a little workaround. Okay, so let's see what it gives us. Still this, it's still looking quite the same, bit different. Let's export it again. Export wavefront. Cube front map. Select only. Export wavefront. And normally, now it's fixed. So we can use again our revealing texture. And see what's happening when we move the offset. So maybe we don't want to use exactly the same texture. So let's duplicate this one, Ctrl D, use it here, and this is where the timeline magic is happening, because with the timeline you can check everything. So let's put this one. So now we don't see the cube at all. We can start using a render target. Let's use the camera. Render target. Let's pin it. Select the camera. Maybe we can increase the size of the dots. What's happening when I reveal the hole? Yeah. And this one, we are going to make it sharper. We can also use Interpolation Smooth here as well. For this one, it's very important. Interpolation Smooth. Let's see the difference. When I use Interpolation Linear, this is not awesome, but with Interpolation Smooth we get some smoother values and it looks better. There is also a way to get rid of those little dark area around the dots. You go to Draw Billboard, Draw Settings, and this is the alpha cut value. Or there's another way, you can also use Additive. No? Yeah, let's do like this. And also you can change the color variation, and we can use W. Let's see what's happening here. If I put yellow here, okay. So let's put some white here, and some yellow at the transition, and some purple before. Here we can do some I wonder if I have enough space on my hard drive. We can put some time here. We can go crazy. Variation. I think I added even more noise here. Yeah, this is not a good idea. Yeah. Let's keep with the basic thing. Of course, you can put it like -4, 2, make it bigger. Let's scale it up like 4. Oh, this is quite crazy. -1. So you have your animation, you're looking at it, and then so let's do the keyframing. I can play with it forever. Forever, ever, ever, ever. So let it play for a few seconds. Let's say 3 seconds. Let's create a keyframe here. Let's hold the Alt and then click. Let's move like 3 seconds. And then we put it to 0, to 1. A little bit more. It's okay. So now we have our animation. Sorry for the noise. Of course you can change the interpolation here, but I think it's okay like this because we already did the interpolation in the texture. So now let's see this one. Let's start here. So linear gradient, Alt, add it's not bad at all. Let's put it to 1. Let's move to this keyframe. Let's move this keyframe here. see what's happening. Let's shift it a bit. Wow. This software is impressive. Maybe we can add more points. Let's add a 0. Yeah, it's more dense. Oh. So the particles are dancing. That's too much particles. Yeah, I think that's pretty it. For the rest, you can have a lot of fun with compositing, adding more effects. Maybe we can play a bit with the material. Adding some glow. You're not forced to do it this way, you can, but since I played with the offset, what's happening if I put like this? Here, rotation 0, rotation 0. Let's see what's happening. This is beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I didn't bother you too much. This was written in the script, the non-existent script. I am New MK and I love you, Mom. Bye bye.